Hello students and welcome to TEF 6600. I have recorded this before and I forgot to put the sound on, so here I go again. Anyway, so hopefully you're in Canvas and you've gone to the dashboard and you've gone into TEF 6600. This unit is all about the philosophy and teaching of design and technology, why do we exist, etc., etc. I'm hoping that you'll find it rewarding. A lot of students have said they actually felt it broadened their understanding of design and tech, and hopefully that will work for you. This video in particular is just showing you how to navigate the Canvas site. So we're on home. If I go to announcements, I'll just view that as a student so you can see what it's like. So there is a welcome to all of you. Please go to the discussions and introduce yourself. So if I go to discussions, there is one here, introduce yourself here, and one for the general questions. And as we go through the semester, I will release other discussion aspects. The assignments are here. Excuse me. And I'll just go through assignment 1. Okay, so assignment 1 is going to develop your understanding a little bit more. There are 2 parts, Part A and Part B. Part A is annotated bibliography, and I've got a number of topics you can choose here. And the sources are, you need to find at least 1 book chapter and at least 4 peer-reviewed journal articles addressing your topic. Now, the annotated bibliography, you're looking at about 200 words per source, and there's 5 sources. And there's 3 elements, a summary, an assessment, and a reflection. And you must, in that reflection, add to your own experiences or observations in D&T. Here's a bit of an example. All right, so you put the APA article, you put a summary of what it is, the assessment, and a reflection. So if you follow this guideline, it shouldn't take you too long to put that together. And then we have a critical essays, Part B, on that topic. Now, in most cases, you'll probably need to read further than just those 5, but for the annotated, I just want the 5. And then you go into the essay a little bit more. So you must use concrete examples from your own experiences or observations, etc., just to authenticate it a little bit more, because we are in the age of AI these days. I use headings to give me some structure, and the essay is no more than 1,000 to 2,000 words. Actually, maximum 1,500. And then we have academic integrity and use of Gen AI, and you just need to state what you are doing and how you've used it. ECU have no problem in you using it to brainstorm, structure your work, proofread it, or as an editing tool. But we do not want you to use it to write. And there is the rubric marking key, and you just upload there. The second assessment is a planning document. So don't get too stressed about this at the moment, because once your first assignment is done, then we will go into more detail about the design and technology curriculum. But I'm basically going to ask you to create a unit of work for years 7 to 9 in either materials context or the engineering context. And SCARS and its training curriculum says nominal hours for teaching a program of D&T is 40 hours for the year. Now, some schools will do a term of D&T in a context and then switch to another term, a bit like a carousel, and they may have 3 or 4 periods a week or less. Some schools will have 2 periods a week for a semester. I have been in situations where it's 2 periods a week for a term, and that's it. I will tell you now that it's really quite difficult and almost impossible to do the curriculum with 20 hours total. But some schools will do that at this stage. And I've even seen some schools do 1 lesson per week for a whole year, which is not great because there's no continuum of learning there. Now, in this assignment, you'll see this bit here. The old unit curriculum documents, which I will be providing you anyway, were created in the 1980s, and our curriculum has moved on from there. So you can use bits of it as a skills activity, but it can't be the major project. I've had students hand these in and it's not their work, basically. They've just taken it from the documents, and so that's not acceptable. And also programs from school as well. If you're already teaching or you're in a school and there's programs, you just grab those, that's not acceptable either. So these have to be programs, curriculum ideas and projects that you don't have an experience with. And you have to check with me first, because I have seen examples of basically artifacts that do not meet the curriculum, and so I don't want you to fail, so I want to make sure that we're on the right page. You're going to create a teaching program. I've got the template for this later on, an assessment outline for those that do year 11 and 12. You'll know what I'm talking about. So that's an outline for the program, but I'm only going to ask you to write 2 of the assessments in detail with rubrics, etc. I'm also going to ask you to create a student learning workbook, minimum 10 pages, because we don't have a textbook and we only have the students for a period of time, and it's important that we capture evidence of learning. A student learning workbook is always a handy thing to do, and I've got examples as we go through. And you will create a short video, a bit like what I'm doing here really, on how you address the WA curriculum and the reasons and the justification for the different elements. And again, AI, etc., and the marking key. The modules are here, and I go through this in the week 1 introduction. So when you go to week 1 introduction, you go to this video and it will go through that process. If there's any issues, please email me or contact me on these details. Thank you very much, and I hope you enjoy the unit.